What's going on, you guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Jesus House podcast. I'm your host, Jacob,
And I'm Erin.
and we just have a quick ask for you guys before we get into it. If you could subscribe, leave us a like, drop a comment, we would greatly appreciate it. We want to interact with all you guys as much as possible, and it truly helps out the page. But without further ado, let's get into it.
So, how you been? How's your week been?
Good. I'm excited
For
what
today?
God's about to do. Yeah.
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 I think today will be a really good episode.
I know. I feel like we actually had time to prepare a little bit more for this episode than the last ones,
Yeah.
which is super exciting.
Yeah.
And I know you have some little surprises that you didn't tell me about that you want to talk about.
Just
I'm excited.
Just some scriptures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what he's gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like this one is coming directly from current life experiences.
Yes.
Man, I was telling God this morning when I was praying, I was like, God, why does every single hard thing that I go through have to come with just like such a big lesson?
Mm-hmm.
But then I walked that back really quick and I was like, wait, no, I need to change my mindset on that. Like, thank God everything that is hard that I walk through comes with a big lesson, because none of our suffering is in vain. If I just walked through stuff and there wasn't a lesson at the end of it, I wouldn't be strengthened. I wouldn't be growing. So thank God that he uses our struggles to strengthen us.
Yeah. It's really hard to not get impatient though and just want to be on the other side of the blessing, not have to go through the waiting and the learning, because it's not easy. It doesn't always feel that good
No,
in the middle of it.
no. Yeah, I'll give a little glimpse into kind of what sparked this topic today. We kind of want to talk about, we'll see what the Holy Spirit does, and we wanted to talk about rest. It's a very important biblical principle, and man, we have been learning our lesson on it. So Jacob and I both have full-time jobs, kind of more than full-time. And this is more than a part-time job. And it's been a lot. We have been praying for God to do something and use us for the past 3 years, and this is our blessing. But it has been really hard and exhausting, and we're definitely working over 60 hours a week. And that has just come with challenges that we haven't faced before. And we were both just talking yesterday and just talking about how we are so exhausted because we haven't really been able to get a lot of sleep. We go to work, we come home, we work on the podcast until 11 o'clock at night, go to bed, get up, do it over again. Our weekends are all also the podcast. And I'm not complaining. I'm
No.
so happy to be doing this. So blessed.
Yeah.
But it has been very challenging. And so we were just discussing yesterday about how we're both just kind of at the end of our ropes, just super tired, super exhausted. And the Holy Spirit really just revealed to us how much we have not been coming to him for rest. We have not been coming to him to be refreshed. And I think we've both been packaging it up a little bit, and excusing it a little bit because we know God knows how hard this is. And he knew that we were going to be here and it was going to be this difficult when he called us to it. But he really just reminded us yesterday how important it is to get our rest from him and not from other things, because we both have been going to TV or going to YouTube or going to our phones or whatever for rest. because we've just been like physically and mentally exhausted. And yesterday when I was telling Jacob, like, I feel like I'm feeling convicted that I haven't been coming to the Lord, like spending any time with him really. I think you got a little frustrated because you were like, how am I going to do that? When am I going to do that? Like, God knows that I don't have the energy for that. And we're both sick right now because we haven't been sleeping. So I think that we got sick. And, yeah, it just made me realize, yeah, but he's the one that we need to go to for all of that. If we're sick, we need to go to Jesus. If we're tired, we need to go to Jesus. If we're mentally exhausted, we need to go to Jesus. And I think our current life situation has been such a difficult but great example of everything else that you go to, if you don't go to Jesus, leaves you empty. Because we've been going to everything. Like, we've been going to social media and like stuff like that mostly to just turn your brain off. And I think it's just drained us even more.
Yeah.
Feels good in the moment. But so we just want to talk about rest today, and we want to talk about what God says about that and what we're learning and why it's so important.
Yeah. This episode's also so cool because we didn't really have a topic that we wanted to talk about this whole week. We were like, what should we talk about this week? And then, I mean, we were just living this out the whole week, like feeling so exhausted. And we just kept thinking, like, what should we talk about this week? And then God literally convicted us yesterday, gave us the revelation, and then put on our minds, like, talk about what you're going through right now.
Yeah.
So this is so fresh for us. And we are learning as we are talking about this. But God has taught us so much by letting us walk this out for the past couple of weeks, or
Month.
probably been 2 months now that we've been living like this. And how do we just both reach our breaking point at the same time? Like, that is such a crazy coincidence, but we're so blessed that we get to walk through this together and not have to do it alone.
Yeah.
Because I feel like God he revealed it to you first, and then we were talking about it, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, that's exactly what I'm walking through too.
Yeah.
So it's just so funny how he speaks to us through other people.
Yeah. Yeah. It made me realize how important it is to have community, like Christian community.
Yeah.
People who are in touch with the Lord around you.
Yeah.
Helping guide you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you wanna kind of tell him what your experience might have been with this? Like, what exact things maybe you've been running to, what it's looked like, how it's felt physically, emotionally?
Well, can we read this Bible verse first, and then we'll kind of get into it?
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me pull it up. Pull it up.
I have a couple that I wanted to chat about. But the first one that I thought of today was Matthew 11:28 through 29. And this reads, "Then Jesus said, 'Come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light.'" Actually, let me read the other one too. So this other one is John 15:5. And Jesus in this section is talking about how basically if we don't produce fruit, we can be like cut off from the vine, and he is the vine. And there's a lot more that goes into that. He's not saying that he just cuts people off. But I specifically want to address how important it is that we remain in relationship with him. And 15:5 says, "Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me and I in them will produce much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing." And I am so guilty over the past couple weeks of like not spending like any time with him. And I have massive grace for myself, and I know that he does too. Like, he's not upset with me. I think he's just teaching me right now, and you right now, how to continue to spend time with him even when you are insanely busy. And truthfully, there's no way I can keep going the way that I'm going without him. And I think, actually, I know part of the reason I'm so exhausted right now is because I have not been retained in the vine. Like, I haven't stayed attached to him. I've been just kind of moving. And I've just made excuses to myself. Well, like, Jesus knows how hard this is right now. He knows how busy I am right now. He knows that I don't have enough time right now. And that's just not working. And you and I had to get really real yesterday. And I was like, if I'm super real with myself, the 10 minutes that I take when I get home from work to relax is me just going on my phone. And if those are the only 10 minutes that I have in the day, even though it's so hard, I should definitely be giving them to the Lord, because that is where I find my rest. I can't do anything without him. He is the source of all the nutrients that I need, just like a grapevine. And I just haven't been doing that. And I'm definitely seeing the effects of that. And I think especially when God calls you to something that you know is far out of your control, far out of your ability, far out of your bounds, I think he is just so teaching us right now, like, you have to remain in me. You have to remain in me because you can do nothing apart from me. If you try to do this in your own strength, you're going to like wither away.
Yeah.
And that's what's been happening. So that just really stood out to me. What do you think of that?
Something that I was just thinking about that I think God really wants me to share right now is I think me and you probably felt like, because we're spending all of our time at work, and then after work we're spending all of our time, our free time that we have, working on this podcast, which is about Jesus. It's about helping the kingdom. I think we justified it that since we're doing a good thing for the Lord, we're doing the Lord's will, like, that's our time with Jesus. Like, we're spending our free time with Jesus, which I think was just a way that we came to justify not putting that little bit of time that we did have, that we spent on social media and stuff, actually being in the Word, praying, and actually getting refreshed in him. That was a way that we justified it, is because we're like, well, we're doing your will, God. Like, isn't that enough?
Yeah.
But that we're not getting refreshed from doing that stuff. Like, yes, we're hanging out with God. Yes, like, naturally we're in the Word because we're doing research and we're listening back to us talking about God, and I'm learning from stuff that I heard you say, and you're learning stuff that I said when we listen back, but we're not actually in his presence and intentional with him and alone in intimacy with him where he can really refresh us.
Yeah.
If that made sense.
100%. And I think he cares a lot more about us than he does whatever we can do for him. Like, it is way more important to him for us to remain in him and remain in a relationship with him and remain in tune with him than it is for us to accomplish something that he's asked us to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I had to really, like this morning, I feel like every Saturday so far that we have recorded, I've been like, okay, I'll give God like 10 minutes in the morning because I just don't have that much time. Like, I just have to get ready. I have to like do this. I have to do that. I have to set up. I have to, all the things. Because it takes us all day long. I think it's probably almost 5 o'clock right now. And we're just now recording. But, I intentionally had to say no to that this morning.
Yeah.
And I think when we choose to put God above all else, the rest of it falls in line. The rest of it falls in line. And the truth is, we can't do any of this without him anyways. It's all about him anyways. So I think we just need to not fall into the trap of feeling like we can, or feeling like it's not important enough for us to genuinely spend time with him, not just mark him into our calendar. That's not real.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I feel like we had the wrong perspective about what it means to spend time with God. We were looking at it like it was a chore and it was a job and it was going to take so much effort because we have to put on this performance when we're with God. Like we have to think so much and like have these beautiful prayers and stuff. And I think he put it on your heart. He was like, I just want you to show up. Like, even if you don't have anything to say to me, like, just get into my presence with the time that you have. Even if we sit in complete silence, I can still refresh you that way.
yeah, I don't know about you, but I have just noticed that that is something that, gosh, I fall into that all the time, is accidentally striving
Yeah.
in my relationship with the Lord. And man, it just shows you how much. And I was thinking about this today. I wrote down in my notes. It's a great example of how much we have to remember that we're human. And no matter how much we know something is true, you and I very much know that we need to find our rest in the Lord. That's not like a new concept. We know that to be true. And we also know it to be true that we shouldn't strive with the Lord, that our time spent with him is not a chore. It is not something that we need to show up and perform at. It's, if all you can do is show up and just say nothing and just sit with him for 10 minutes, that's all he cares about. He just wants you to show up, and we know that. But yet we continuously fall into the trap of not doing that. And I think for me, it was a great reminder that not to get prideful in thinking that you know, because like you might know, but we're still human and we still fall into that stuff. We fall into the same patterns. And that's why he has to remind us not to do that stuff in the Bible. And I think we'll get better at it.
Yeah.
But we are human. Just because we learned a lesson once doesn't mean we're not going to learn it again.
Yeah, no, I feel like I've been making this same mistake the entire time I've been walking with God. And like I keep relearning it, and then for some reason I'll forget it for a little bit, but it doesn't happen super drastically. I feel like it just becomes this little thing that kind of becomes habitual quietly, and then before you know it you're like, "Oh my gosh, like what happened? Like, why have I not been hanging out with God for so long?" And then he like reminds us how important this is. And you're like, oh my gosh, like, how did I not know that? I've known this. Like you were saying, I know that. And this has happened multiple times. And I want to get your thoughts on this. But I wonder if maybe the reason that we look at getting in God's presence and our time with God as like this big giant chore that we're striving for is because we treat it like everything else in our life, like our job or anything else, that we try to make this perfect thing that we show up to 100% of the time. And we do the same thing with God, but we wouldn't do that with like our relationship with anyone else. Like some days you're not at your best, but you still just show up to go hang out with that friend. Like you don't cancel on them just because you feel 80% that day.
Yeah.
So why do we do that with God? And I'm guilty of this. Like
Oh.
I'm so guilty of this.
We're guilty of this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's something that I was thinking of when I was thinking about that in my prayer time with God today is like, your relationship with God is the best friend that you could possibly think of. Like it made me think of you. Like if I had a hard week and we went out to dinner or something and we like intentionally went to hang out with each other, I would not be like, okay, I need to button up. I need to show up. I need to put a smile on. Like I need to like have energy. Like I would show up to you because I'm so close to you and I trust you so much. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, can we just talk for a second? This week has been so hard. Or I'd be like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I haven't been talking. I'm just really tired.
Yeah.
I'm really tired right now. Or whatever that looks like. I wouldn't be fake with you. And it would feel restful because I'm in the presence of somebody that I know is not putting any pressure on me to entertain them or to be a certain way. You just want to be with me. You would just want to be with me, whether I had a bad week or not, whether I was in a bad mood or not. You would just want to be with me. And that's the same way that God is. It's the same relationship. He just wants to be with you.
Yeah.
And you and I both yesterday was the first day that we both got to spend a little bit of time with him. I spent some time with him after work. You spent some time with him after work. And as we were having this conversation, we were both like, oh my gosh, look at that. Literally we each got like 20 minutes in his presence today. And we both feel lighter. We feel so much better. Like, are all of our problems gone? No. But we understand more what's going on and why we feel so bad. We feel more at peace. And just 20 minutes with him did that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's so important. And I feel like, especially in today's age, there's so many distractions. Like there's just, everything is constantly loud. There's constantly music, or there's people talking, or there's your phone, or there's the internet, or there's TV, or whatever it is. It is so hard to be in tune with the Lord when we don't turn that stuff off for a minute.
Yeah.
We need intentional time with him.
Yeah. The thing that I'm learning too is in this season where we've been just running so hard every single day, constantly, whenever I get like just a little break in the day, and usually it's right after work, I have like 10 minutes before we start working on the podcast, and I'm just so tired, and I'm like, I just want to spend that time. I want to turn my brain off. I just want to go on YouTube and just watch stuff. And God let me do that. He let me do that for like these 2 months that we've been running like this. And like, he wasn't condemning me for it. He let me learn my mistake, but he was there the whole time. And something that I noticed too after a while, when I would go to like, before I'd go to like turn YouTube on, I would feel like, now that I'm looking back on it, I would feel like slightly convicted.
For sure.
Like now that we're kind of past it, God was definitely like trying to get to me and be like, hey, don't do it. And I would feel kind of like dirty and guilty for doing it. Not in like a dark way, but just in like a little nudge, like, hey, I'm here. Hey, but I'd be like, no, like, I'm so tired. This is what I need. I need to just turn my brain off. I need to be distracted. And it did not work at all. I was not getting the rest that I needed by doing that. If anything, it just led to me becoming fully depleted like I was yesterday when I hit a complete breaking point.
Yeah.
I literally told God, I was like, God, I can't keep going like this. I'm so scared to keep going like this. I've never been this tired in my life. And then after that, when we talked, he gave us that revelation, and he was just like, it's because you haven't been coming to me for what you actually need. You think that what you've needed is rest by doing all these other things, which there's nothing wrong with doing those things. But I think he's just been teaching us, like, in this season where I am calling so and I'm expecting a lot from you, you really got to be intentional and dialed in with me.
Yeah.
But I know he has grace for us. I know he's not looking down at us. He's not mad at us. Like, he knows how much we're doing right now. But he's like, hey, I let you figure out that, like, that way didn't work, and I'm showing you the way that works because I care about you and I want to sustain you. I don't want you to feel like that. I know how you're feeling, and I'm the solution.
Yeah. I mean, I think to your point, it's not that those things are bad. Like, it's not like watching YouTube and stuff after work is bad. It's just that we've been putting those things in his place.
Mm-hmm.
And we've, I've felt the same way. Like, I have definitely felt him, and he's so gentle. Like, that's the thing, is like, you gotta pay attention to when he's talking to you. Because he's gentle. He's not usually like, hey, stop. Like, he doesn't do that. He's like, there's just so many times where I'd pick up my phone and I would kind of pause for a second because I would feel him being like, spend time with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, no, I can't. Like, I can't right now. I need to just turn off. But it's not turning off. I think our generation says that a lot, is like, I need to turn my brain off. I need a brain rot for a minute. And I've just realized, like, yeah, like, there's, like we said, there's nothing wrong with that. You want to go watch some videos, but not in the place of the Lord. If you're going to that, like we have been going to that for rest,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna put you out after a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it can't give you life. It can't give you rest. And that goes back to this verse again in Matthew 11:28-30. Then Jesus said, come to me, all of you who are weary and carry heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy to bear, and the burden I give you is light. And that's exactly, I think, what we're doing when we come to Jesus for rest, is we're giving him our burdens. We're saying, Lord, this is too heavy for me to carry. I'm weary. I'm so tired, whether it's physically, whether it's mentally. And he is the one who takes that on for us. He takes it from us when we give it to him, and he gives us his burden, which is light, because he's God. And that's why when we come out of time with him, even if it's 5 minutes of just coming to him when you need rest, he refreshes our souls. He really, really does. Yeah.
I just wanted to say, too, for anyone out there that maybe is feeling convicted by this, or maybe they're confused about it and they think we're saying that you shouldn't go on social media or stuff like that. Like, that's not what we're saying at all. It's just for me and you right now in this season. God is just showing us that we need to be in his presence every single day. Like, if we are not refreshing ourselves in the Lord, in prayer and through reading the word, like, we will not have what we need to be sustained in this life, because we can't find it through social media. We can't find it through even getting more sleep, which is what we were trying to do. Like, he is just showing us how important that is. So for anyone out there, if you're not hanging out with God every single day, that is what he desires for our life. And it's not a chore. It's not supposed to be something that we cross off our to-do list. Like, it is a necessity, and you will feel so much better from doing it. It's not a chore. And we both were looking at it as a chore for so long.
Yeah.
So we gotta fix our mindset and the way that we look at it, because it's not that at all. It's the same thing as like giving your body food. Like you're giving your spirit food
Yeah.
in God.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I felt like, I think I didn't have faith that like he could maybe deal with my physical exhaustion too.
Same.
I feel like I've always just been like, emotionally, he's going to help me. But also, I mean, he's God. He's God of the universe. And if you're physically exhausted, say you're like a new parent and your baby's been up and like you're not getting sleep, he can help you with that. I will say, like, through this time, especially over this past week, he has been giving me energy that I don't know where it's come from. I really don't. I'm not like drinking more caffeine or anything. I really just somehow he's just sustained me, just through the very small amount that I've been able to like pray and be in his presence. And I can't imagine how much easier that would be if I would give him some more of my time and just be with him and just lay it at his feet. That's what it is. You're not showing up to him working to do things the right way when you're with him and have great prayers and read the Bible perfectly. You're showing up to just sit at his feet. Yeah. You're showing up to just be with him and let his presence bring your heavy burdens off of your shoulders and let his peace rest on you. That's what you're doing. Like he's doing all the work. There's no work for you to do. So I also want to say really quick, and I've been thinking about this week. We all go through different seasons, especially with Jesus. Life with Jesus is such an adventure. But, right before God called us to this podcast, for 2 or 3 years, I had been in a season of waiting. Like, I'm still waiting on a lot of things, but waiting on God to even tell me what to do at all. And during that time, all he wanted me to do was just sit at his feet and get to know him, spend time with him, be in his presence, learn the word, learn his voice, just commune with him, just develop a relationship with him. And I hated it. I hated it. I was like, God, I just want to do something. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? I'm ready to do something. I'm ready to move. I'm ready to this. I'm ready to that. And he was like, no, I'm cultivating you right now. I need you to just be with me. That's what I'm just asking you to be my friend right now. I'm just asking you to be with me and let me teach you and let me grow you. And that's what I did. I mean, like on my lunch break during work, I would read the Bible. Like in the morning, I had the time to get up and, spend with him, 20 minutes, 30 minutes and pray and read the Bible. Before bed, I had time to 20 minutes, 30 minutes pray and read the Bible. And I was spending, 2 or 3 different, sessions with him. And I was just complaining that whole season about how stagnant everything felt. And now I look back and I'm like, man, I miss that time with you, God. Like it was just me and you. And we were just like, my only thing was just being with you. That was it. And not that I don't love where I am now too. This is a very cool season. I think we're going to see God move in amazing ways. And he's using us and growing us in different and amazing ways. But if you're in a season where you feel stagnant, but you know the Lord has a plan for your life and you know he's going to do something at some point, don't take it for granted, because it is such a beautiful, beautiful time. And you're going to look back and you're going to be like, wow, I just got to get to know him. That's it. I got to just be in the creator of the world's presence. And that was it. And it was such a sweet, sweet time. So don't take it for granted like I did.
Yeah.
Because it's special. It's a special time. The cultivating season is a very special time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that gives me goosebumps thinking about like the first couple times you really feel his presence and you just break down in his presence. Like it's just unlike anything else
Yeah.
in this world.
It's addictive.
It is.
Yeah.
When I was just listening to you, it just reminded me of the verse in the Bible where you were saying like you used to have so much more time with God when you were just getting to know him versus now, because we're just a lot busier right now. Um, I don't think that we're always going to have this little a time
No.
to hang out with God, but it just reminded me of the verse in the Bible that says, if I can trust you with a little, then I can trust you with a lot. And I think that's what he's doing right now is we have such little time with God. Like like our entire day is like to the minute. And like we know exactly when we have time to spend with God, and before we were spending that doom scrolling and brain rotting, and we learned that that's time for God now. And I think he's just getting us like really dialed in with him, and he's trusting us with a little. And I think when some things move and he comes through in some ways, we're definitely going to have a lot more time to spend with him and grow with him. And I'm really excited to see that for both of us.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I think we've been realizing that this whole podcast thing isn't just, it's not just a little podcast. Like it's definitely a ministry that he's calling us to. And we don't even know what that looks like yet. So I'm not going to talk about that a lot, but
Yeah.
it really is amazing to see how he works in our lives.
When we were preparing for this episode and I was hanging out with God, he was showing me I kind of imagine it like we have these different jars for these different areas in our life. Like we have our jar for our physical, we have like a jar for our emotional, and then we have a jar for our spiritual side. Like we have all these different jars that we need to fill up with things. And when I just think about us coming to God and us needing to be refreshed and filled up and sustained, like that obviously would go in the spiritual jar. And when me and you were going to social media and we were trying to like go to bed instead of praying to God, like we were trying to fill up all three jars with those things. But the only things that we were filling up was the physical jar and the emotional jar, and our spiritual jar was just getting more and more empty, and we were never getting that refilled and refreshed in God. And then the other thing that he was showing me is when we're just relying on our physical and emotional levels to be sustained in every area of our life and give us the energy that we need every day, we're almost relying on our own strength because we have nothing from God now. Like we're just relying on the things that we can control. Like I can control how much sleep I get. I can control how much time I spend on social media to get rest. And God tells us that he is our sustainer, that his grace is sufficient. So when we're not filling up our spiritual jar, which is a real thing, we are spiritual beings, and our spiritual jar is as important, if not more important, than all the other jars. Like we will run out of energy and effort to give. And that's when we feel like we're burnt out. Like we both got to that point yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that, first of all, what a cool visual that he gave you. But that also just reminds me of like the verse that I was talking about in John, like being cut off from the vine. I mean, in order for a grapevine to produce fruit, it has to receive the nutrients from the vine. And if you take that grape off of the vine, it's going to die eventually. Like it's going to rot away. And that's the same thing. Like if we are not being sustained by the nutrients of God, and Jesus is the vine and we are the grapes, we'll die. And man, oh man, have we been feeling that.
You sound like a scientist.
I know a little bit about plants. Just kidding. I don't know.
A plantologist, maybe?
Plantology?
Yeah.
But that what you were just saying, like him showing you that of the jars and stuff, that's so cool. It just reminded me of in Matthew 11. It is Matthew 11:29, where he says, "Take my yoke upon you. Let me teach you, because I am humble and gentle at heart, and you will find rest for your souls." He was teaching you. And I feel like, gosh, a lot of times I think we don't come to God with our problems because, or like we just don't come to him when we still have problems because we're like, well, nothing's going to help me if you don't fix it. Like if you don't fix the thing, there's really no point. And I've already prayed for you to fix it a million times. So like, what's the point of me even coming to prayer to you anymore because you haven't fixed the thing? And I don't even think you're going to fix the thing if I pray about it again today. So I'm just not going to.
Dang.
But that's not how God works. Like God honestly cares so much more about the posture of your heart than he does about your outward circumstances. He still cares about your outward circumstances, but he cares about your soul more. And so, yeah, I think a lot of times we don't come to him in prayer because I know for me, I don't want you to just teach me right now. I want you to fix it. I want you to change my circumstances. And I feel like sometimes I almost like boycott my time with God because I'm like, well, you're not doing anything. So what's the point?
Strike.
Yeah. Like, what's the point? And that is not how he works. Like, he wants to work in your heart. Most likely, I guarantee you, he's working things for your, actually not most likely, he definitely is. He's working things for your good in your outward physical circumstances. But while he does that, when he's ready to do that in his perfect timing, in the meantime, he wants to work in your heart. And if we avoid that part, and if we get tired and annoyed with that part, we're missing out on, honestly, the majority of our relationship with Christ.
Yeah.
The majority of our relationship with Christ, the majority of the breakthrough that we see with God is internal. If we're constantly searching for external breakthrough, we're going to miss out on the more important parts, which is him healing you and helping you and growing you and sanctifying you. It's like, yeah, because that's something that I definitely have felt. I think that's part of maybe the reason that I stopped going to him a little bit is I was like, I've prayed and prayed and prayed about this. You're not doing anything. And I don't want to just learn.
Yeah.
But then when you let him, you see that he doesn't just teach you and help you understand and learn and grow. He lifts the burden.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It all just goes back to us giving him our yoke, and he might not fix your outward circumstance in that moment. And it's so frustrating if you've prayed for something 1,000 times, but if we stop bringing it to him, then we're carrying that burden ourselves, and it's too heavy. Like, I've felt it, you felt it, like we are not meant to carry that. So yeah, maybe he's not gonna fix it in that moment, but we can still hand it over to him so he can carry it. So then he can sustain us through that season, and that thing that we're waiting for won't take us out and it won't destroy us.
Man, I think that goes to humility too, because I know for me, especially over this week, I have actually been telling God, I'm like, I don't want to just be sustained anymore. I want you to fix it. I'm so tired. I don't want to do this anymore. I want you to fix it. I don't want to just be sustained. And after a little while of that, I have to humble myself. And I also have to remind myself, do I really want anything outside of God's timing? No. I don't want anything before the right time. I don't want anything before God says it's the right time to do it, because he's God and his timing is perfect and his will is perfect. So just because I want it now and I don't understand doesn't mean it's the best thing for me. So, and how blessed are we to even have a God who cares to sustain us?
Right?
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But
Like
I just,
when we're brats and we throw fits
yeah,
and we crash out on him, and he still just sits there and listens, and he's like, okay, get it out of your system, keep going,
and he
keep
never
going.
stops helping
You're not
you.
done. And then when you're finally done tossing and turning, he's like, you ready to listen? You ready for me to help you?
Yeah. And I just want to say, if you've been praying about something, just because God hasn't done it now doesn't mean he's not going to. And that is where faith is that he hears your prayers and he has a plan. And it might not be exactly what you think it's going to be or the way that you want it to be or when you want it to be. But don't give up faith in him that he is your helper and he's not going to leave you where you are. I don't know what that's going to look like exactly, but just because he hasn't moved immediately doesn't mean he's not going to. And that's so hard. It is so hard to keep holding on to faith. But that's another reason that, man, I've just realized just how important it is when you're going through it to continue to stay in relationship with him and spend time with him consistently, because my mind has been easily infiltrated. Like the amount of doubt and fear and worry that I have had over the past couple months, I think could have been a lot less if I would have renewed my mind with the word of God and stayed in his presence and consulted with him about the things that I was feeling and thinking instead of just letting them fester in my mind. The devil prowls around like a lion waiting for his prey. That's what the Bible tells us. So when we are vulnerable is when we need to be with him the most. We always need to be with him. Never assume you're not vulnerable, but especially in times like where you are exhausted, make sure you're staying with God. And we are saying this from people who are going through it and we're learning it the hard way right now because we haven't been. So.
Yeah. Yeah, the enemy, he be liking to come at my mind whenever I'm super tired or I'm sick for some reason. It's because he knows our tendencies. He knows when we're vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when he strikes like a coward.
Yep.
When your walls come down. So it just comes back to how important it is to just stay in the word regularly, stay in prayer, because that is our weapon. That is our protection. If we try to fight on our own the way that we have, and your mind will just go, it will just go in the wrong direction. And then you're trying to like comprehend all these thoughts and think through these things on your own and with your own understanding. And then it just leads you to just spiral even deeper. And then before you know it, you're like, whoa, 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 like, what the heck is going on? Like, why am I thinking like this? Like, why is my faith so low? Like, I remember I came to you like a couple weeks ago and I was like, oh my gosh, like, this thing can never fail. Like, this thing was for sure from God. Like, it's going to be such a success. And then, like, a couple days ago, that same thing, I'm doubting so heavily just because I've been separated from God and I have not been getting refreshed and renewed from God. So I had no faith or hope.
Yeah.
And living from a constant mountaintop to valley low is exhausting. And I feel like the best way to combat that and live consistently is just by consistently staying in the word, staying in prayer, fasting.
Mm-hmm.
It's so important.
Yeah. I mean, spiritual warfare is real, guys. And it is just all too easy to believe the lies in your head. I think that's another reason that it is so important to be completely honest with God. Because yes, a lot of your thoughts are yours, but a lot of your thoughts are also not yours. It is so easy for us to believe lies. So it is so important to come to God and be like, I honestly feel like I don't believe that you're going to do X, Y, Z right now. And I'm really afraid of the outcome if you don't, and whatever, if you don't do this in this timing. Because it's so easy for the devil to come in our mind and tell us like God's never going to show up or X, Y, Z, whatever it is. So we need to be making sure that we're telling him those things so that he can tell us the truth. We need to hear the truth from the Lord. And he will tell you the truth. I'm not saying he's going to audibly say, this is the truth, but he'll set it right in your heart and in your mind. Just keep doing it and watch how he works. But yeah.
Yeah. I wanted to say one more thing that God kind of gave me a word for when I was preparing for this episode, is how we were talking about God. God needs to be our rest, like the thing that we go to for rest. And he called himself our lifeline. Like he is our life support. He is our creator. He is our sustainer. He's our savior. Like the God of the universe is intertwined with us in the Holy Spirit. Like he is literally like more important than our heart or our blood. Like he is something so much deeper in us, like a lifeline. I don't know how else to say it. Like he is our everything. He's where all of our nutrients, all of our life comes from. If we're cut off from him, like we're dead. We're dead. And then the other thing it made me think of is he is like this living spring inside of us, like a rushing spring that just constantly pumps up water into us, and he never stops. Like he will never stop if you go to that. If you go to the spring, like he's never going to run out. Mm-mm. He's infinite. He's eternal. The things of this world are finite. They will not last for eternity. Nothing in this world is meant to sustain us for eternity. It's God and God alone.
That's why he calls himself the living water. Yeah.
Yeah.
He is our water. He is our vine. He is our lifeline.
Yeah.
And I think the hard part is like, it is kind of slow when you like kind of detach from him. Like you kind of just slowly lose it. And then you get where we are and you're like, I feel like I can't even lift my head up. And he's like, yeah, you're going to need to come back to me, honey. You can't do this on your own. You can do nothing without me.
But he's so powerful. He can restore you in an instant. Like he did that to us yesterday. Like it only took 20 minutes for him to fully refresh us.
Yeah.
So he can do that for everyone.
But
like
sorry.
No, it's okay.
I totally just talked over you. I just had thought pop into my mind. We went to the Forrest Frank concert the other day, and someone came out and was just sharing the gospel with everybody in the crowd, and he was talking about, or maybe it was Forrest Frank, he was talking about manna for the day. And we have to be renewed daily. In the Bible, when the Israelites were wandering the desert in Exodus with Moses, they were like, how are we going to eat? And God was like, I'll supply you food. And manna fell from the sky. It was basically like this like sweet bread type thing. But he commanded them, he was like, don't save any of it. Like, don't put it in your pockets. Don't try to keep it for tomorrow because it won't last. And some of the people did it anyways, and it got worms in it, and it was moldy, and it was disgusting. And God was like, I told you not to keep it. And that is the same when it comes to his presence, is we need it new every single day. If we try to ride off of the refreshment that we got from him on Monday all the way through the next Monday, you're going to feel depleted. You need it. It's manna for the day. Manna for the day. And so we need to make sure that we are staying connected to him, even if it's 5 minutes. Like, and I'm preaching to myself right now.
Yeah.
Even if it is 5 minutes, intentional connection too, not just like a little prayer in your car. Like, go sit with him in your room for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, alone, intentionally with
Put
the
the
Lord.
phone away.
Put the phone away.
Turn everything off.
Wait there with him until your thoughts calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Let his presence come before you leave.
Yeah.
And I just want to add, if there is anything that you feel like, or ask yourself if there's anything that you have noticed that you feel like he can't help you with, or he is not your lifeline for. For us, like we talked about, that was physical energy. I just feel like, I guess I didn't really think that he would help me with that, or like not even that I didn't believe it, but I just I didn't think of it. I didn't think of to rely on him for that. So is there anything that you're not believing he can or will help you with, or there's something that you haven't even considered that you can rely on him for that? Because we can go to him for absolutely everything, whether it's emotional or physical, whatever that looks like. He is God, and he's got you, and he wants you to be completely reliant on him because he's the only one who can actually sustain you. So.
Facts.
No printer?
No printer.
Where did that come from?
I don't know, but I said it the other day in the office, and someone was like, "Oh my gosh, I haven't heard that in years."
Yeah, that's old.
I was like, I guess I am Unc.
That was a very Gen Z trendy thing of you to say.
I learned from them. What can I say?
The youngins.
The youngins.
We're not that old. I feel like we're painting it to people like we are so
They're not.
old.
We're not that old, but I work with people that were born after 9/11, which is crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Some of the people that I work with that are like, I was born in like 2000 whatever. I'm like,
Yeah.
what? Are you 5? I'm confused. I can't do that math in my head. Why does that feel so young?
Because we're so old. But we're not that old.
We're not that old. I wonder.
My back says otherwise.
How old people think we are.
Yeah.
Well,
Guys, I know where you're going. I don't know if we could say that.
no, I'll just put this. I'm just gonna say this. We can cut it out if we want. We've started to get some negative comments, which is fine. It's to be expected, but it's been kind of funny because what people love to dig on me for is saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, or I have absolutely no hard life experience, either because they say it's because I'm a woman, or they say it's because I'm just like so young. Like someone called me 19 and I'm like, thanks.
Like, yeah, I know you're trying to be mean, but thanks.
Yeah, I know that was like not a compliment, but that's cool.
And people think we're AI.
People do think we're AI.
We are AI.
Oh, you know what? It's hard to tell.
It is.
It's getting scary.
It is.
It's getting real scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that people should have to put on their accounts if something is AI, like legally.
Yeah. So we're going to have to start doing that apparently.
Yeah, because we are AI.
We are AI.
We are AI.
We're weirding them out. Wait. You got to pray out.
Oh. Of course. Okay. Lord, thank you so much for this episode. Thank you so much for this day. God, I just want to pray over every single listener today, Lord, that whoever is feeling weary, whoever is feeling depleted, whoever is feeling like they need rest and they're not getting it, Lord, just help them turn to you. Help them come to you for it, God. I pray your peace over them, Lord. I pray that you help them to bring their burdens to you and lay them at your feet so that you can take it off of their shoulders. Lord, we thank you so much that you are so loving to us, that you are constantly ready and waiting for us to come to you so that you can heal us. Lord, I pray whoever is feeling like their faith is low right now, God, that you just encourage them through your word. Lord, bless them with your presence and uplift their spirits, Lord. Thank you so much, Jesus. We love you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. We hope that you guys really liked this episode and you got a lot out of it. If you guys could help us out, share this with somebody that you think needs to hear this. Send it to your mama, your dada, auntie, uncle, anyone that needs to hear it. God tells us that every nation needs to hear his word. So send it far and wide. We love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.